This is Anti-Imperialist Front TV news for the week beginning November 16th, 2020. The long-awaited US elections finally happened. For several weeks there has been no definite result, but it looks likely that Joe Biden, the Democratic candidate, will be the next President of the United States for his inauguration on January 20th next year. For the working people and the oppressed of the world, there was no real difference. There was no candidate between the two of them who actually offered more than the other. There was nothing to gain. The only people who in fact gained from the US elections are the monopolies, and it would have made no difference whether Joe Biden or Donald Trump was the winner. The problems of the world, the problems of the working people and the oppressed will continue to remain the same, and it is not by looking to election results that their problems will be resolved or changes favourable to them will be achieved. COVID continues to wreak havoc in the world, and the reaction to COVID in the form of lockdowns continues to wreak havoc. It should be noted that COVID is actually providing opportunities for increased state repression. For example, in Greece, the protests, the normal annual protests on the anniversary of the November 17th uprising in Greece against the junta and the brutal repression by the army were banned, and as a result a number of students were killed back in 1973, but it was the beginning of the end for the Greek fascist junta. However, this year the police and the authorities and the right-wing government of Mitsotakis have tried to ban the commemoration of November 17th, and they were saying that it was necessary to not allow more than 4 people out into the streets at the same time in an attempt to curb the COVID outbreak that has been ravaging the world to one degree or another for most of this year. However, people defied the government ban, perhaps in smaller numbers than before, but the people still turned out for the COVID, in spite of COVID, for the protests, and were attacked by the Greek police. And large numbers of people were arrested. They were actually held in crowded conditions in Greek police stations. This is in spite of the alleged danger of COVID. The police, of course, were also out in large numbers and quite crowded and not observing any social distancing. And photographs have been circulating showing Greek police not wearing masks, despite their own regulations. It seems that the COVID is less important than the opportunity to stop people from meeting, stop people from discussing with each other, and to stop people from actually protesting. That seems to be the real significance of COVID. Turkey continues to be repressive under the Erdogan government. And there have been more examples in the past week or so. For example, the police killers of Kemal Korkut in Diyarbakir back in 2017 have been acquitted by a court in Turkey. Judges and prosecutors are afraid to do anything that might possibly bring down anger from the government if they actually convict policemen who kill or army personnel who kill. So this acquittal of police killers is something that we have come to expect. Also this week, the police in Ankara laid waste to the İdilcan Culture Center, a culture center connected with the revolutionary group Yorum. And this is just the latest in a long act of a series of repressions, but we will continue to resist fascism. Democrats, revolutionaries and socialists will continue to resist fascism. And this is the news from the world as we observe as revolutionaries here in Greece, here in Turkey, here in Europe, and everywhere. But we will continue to resist. And that is the news for this week, the week beginning November 16th, 2020, from the Antı-Imperıalıst Front TV.